It's recording?
Yeah. The red dot means it's recording, right?
So now it's like, how do you know if it's a good angle? Like, is this a good angle? Is this a good angle? Because I'm gonna be looking like this mostly. So is this a good angle? Okay, the audio. What's best for audio? You probably want to be behind me, but like.
I'll talk loud.
Thanks, Henry.
Yeah.
Let's do my trail, my favorite trail.
Okay.
Shut it. What's going on there? That was weird. That was weird. And then you're Mambo Jambo in college.
Yep.
Like, what's your focus?
Marketing. Trying to get business marketing degree, college of business, and then I want to go into consumer electronics, get a job, something along those lines. There's also, like, I was talking to my advisor and she also said there was another major that I could look at.
Yeah.
That would also line me up for business information systems, BIS.
Huh.
And so that would also get me into like consumer goods and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, not a lot of people know exactly what they want to do in college, especially at your age.
Yeah.
Like, have you like always known, or like not always known, but you know at a young age, like?
Well, my entire life I've like always been like that kid that wants the latest and greatest tech, like just knows random stuff about just like consumer tech.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna go into kinesiology, and I took like.
Oh, that's like the body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took like psychology, sports and performance psychology,
Yeah.
anatomy, exercise physiology, nutrition.
Yeah, dude.
All throughout high school, and like I learned a crap ton about it. And I was gonna go into kinesiology, and then literally I was laying in my room, and like I looked around, and like I was like, man, I do like the study of the body. It's interesting, but everything in my room is like has tech integrated into it. It seems like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my gosh, I need to find a degree where I can do this, because this is what I'm passionate about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems to be tech and the human body are combining.
That's very true.
So you could be on the frontier of something there.
Interesting.
Integrate your two passions.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, dude. Because you're totally into the body, and then you're into tech.
Totally into the body.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who they are, but I mean, I think it's highly likely that we're going to be like cyborgs within the next 100 years.
Have you seen the Neuralink?
I've heard about it, yeah.
Elon Musk?
Yeah, where you put a chip in your brain and you can
connect to nerves that are a part of your body.
Yeah.
And then you can, the brain sends out signals to the muscles, and then that's what tells the muscles what to do. So you can pick up on those signals right at the start of the brain, and you can predict what the brain wants the limb to do. And so say that person doesn't have a limb, you can give them a prosthetic one that is completely controlled by the mind.
Dang, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that if it was related to, like, you know, my limbs, or if I was paralyzed or something to help with that, as opposed to the, you know, connecting my brain to the internet. That seems freaky.
Freaky.
Yeah, no thank you. I have a hard enough time like navigating the internet without it in my brain. So this is like where I run in the mornings.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is like my morning jam. Have you ever been down here before?
Never.
Oh man, it's beautiful. That's where I was yesterday with Tabitha.
Cool.
Or 2 days ago. 2 days ago. We went on that side of the lake. So yeah, I love this lake. It's pretty great. Okay, and then you found out about Tree to Tree
through Tyler.
And Tyler was just telling you about it?
He's moving to New Mexico.
What?
Yeah.
What's in New Mexico?
His girlfriend.
Oh, women.
Yeah.
How they make us make choices. Yeah.
What were you gonna ask me before I...
Well, yeah. How did Tyler? Was Tyler just? How did you guys know each other? Like through
the gym.
Through the gym.
Yep.
And you just met at the gym, like,
yeah,
hey, can you spot me, bro? Yeah, bro.
He had always lifted there for a while, and so we recognized him. And then he started working there. And Brigham and I always thought he was like just the weirdest guy. He made weird sounds.
Yeah, he does. It's hilarious.
But then like we started to get to know him. We were like, this is one of the coolest guys. Like,
yeah, totally.
And now we're just like, we're pretty close. Whenever
Yeah.
we go to the gym, he lets us do whatever we want.
I had the same evolution with him. Like, man, this guy makes weird noises. And then you get to know him. It's like, man, this guy's hilarious.
So cool.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun.
Like, I really started to get to know him after he started working at the gym.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I was trying to get a job at the gym, and he was like, dude, work at Tree to Tree. I was like, you think they'd hire me? Why wouldn't they? All right.
Yeah.
So he gave me like Marissa's contact information.
Nice.
And I just went from there.
Okay, so then you went to training, and then it was like COVID.
Yeah.
And then it was like everybody fell off the map.
Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, I want some hours. Can I just come and mow?
Yeah, that's pretty much. Who did I text that to? I think Marissa.
I think it's Marissa, yeah.
I texted Marissa, and I was like, just give me anything.
Yeah, that was a good move, by the way.
Thank you. That was Tyler's idea.
Yeah, that's how to do it, for sure. Because the owners are so busy, you know, and I'm so busy. It's like we can't think of, you know, all the things all the time. So when people are like, a squeaky wheel that's not annoying, a squeaky wheel that's not super annoying, it's like, yeah, come help out. So it's like that sweet spot of asking but not like forcing yourself.
Yeah.
But that willingness to do anything is just huge, because there's so many different things to do at Tree to Tree.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of team players.
Thank you.
So you got that team player attitude.
Thanks.
That will go far, not only at Tree to Tree, but in your life. Little motivational speech, but
yeah.
It's true though. I don't know if you remember that little team building spiel I did with the red pen highlighters, and how like if you're a red pen person, you kind of notice problems in a company or program. And if you come to the owner or employer or upper management with just talking about the problem, and you don't come with like a few creative solutions.
Oh, I think I do remember this.
Yeah. Then it's
Is this
just
in
–
training?
yeah, probably. Then it's like, you know, upper management and the employers already are juggling a million problems. So if you're just talking about more problems, they're not going to hear it.
Yeah.
But if you come with like a possible solution, it's like, oh, that guy's an asset, or girl, or whatever you want to go by, individual. That's what's helped me in my career. Like, I keep getting promoted in all my different whatever ventures, even when I don't really want to, because I think I've had that mentality since I was in high school. Like, I would come with a possible solution.
Yeah. That
was an idea to share, as opposed to we should do it this way. You know, it's like, hey, what if we did this? And then you create a dialogue, and then like that alone. I mean, imagine if you're running your own business, like, and you had staff. I mean, that's the kind of person you'd want on your team, right? Like,
yeah, someone's gonna...
just that attitude alone.
Yeah.
Even if it's a bad idea, at least you're like, you know what I mean? At least you're showing that you're being proactive to come up with a solution.
Yeah.
So that is huge. And like willing to do anything. Like I'll wash toilets. I'm the park manager, but I'll wash toilets. Like,
yeah.
Whatever. It's like, we're all doing this together.
We is a big thing.
We is a big thing, yeah. We before me. For sure, especially in this industry, because ego, any kind of outdoor industry, ego is what gets people hurt.
I've had ego a bit.
We all do. I mean, it's not going anywhere, but
I notice everyone, at least when they start, thinks it's cool to be in a level 2. I don't like it now because it's uncomfortable. But I was like, this is kind of cool. Like, I want to be in a level 2 more often.
Oh, level 2 harness?
Yeah, like
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. People that are narcissistic, they're few and far between, but they love kind of that status kind of thing. And they find the higher up the chain they go,
How do they feel about themselves?
well, yeah, as far as the title, but then they realize how much responsibility comes with it. And it's hard for them to navigate their ego and all the responsibility. So they'll start doing tricky things.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm not a narcissist. At least I don't think I am. That sounded narcissistic.
Tricky things?
Yeah, I guess. I just watched this podcast on this guy who actually thoroughly studies narcissism. And I guess there's like 3 different kinds. There's like the narcissist that, the obvious one, which is, you know, they think they're better than everybody else and they show it. Like they make it a point that you know that they're the best.
Yeah.
And then there's a narcissist that doesn't say anything. They're like an introverted narcissist. And they get really frustrated because they don't understand why everybody doesn't treat them like a god, but they don't show that they're a god. So they get really upset at the world because like, why doesn't everybody worship me? And they just rage in the basement alone.
Sounds like an incel.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. So it's kind of fascinating. I don't fully understand it because 80% or 90% of my day is thinking about how not good enough I am. Well, you know, it's like I'm definitely on maybe too far on the other end where I don't think high enough of myself. So there's like a spectrum of like low self-image to high self-image, and the goal is to be like accurate self-image, not overconfident or underconfident. I call it like a empowered humility. Like
you talked about this in one of your podcasts, right? How you were
Yeah.
saying like the killing, what were they, little monsters? What were they called?
Oh, perfection monsters.
With what? With killing perfection monsters with something.
Yeah, just kind of, well, yeah, empowered humility.
What was the phrase?
Oh,
You used a little.
we were just like imagining them as a little gnome.
Yeah.
Shrinking the perfection monster down to a little perfection gnome. So it's a little more easy to navigate.
Yeah.
But I'm the kind of guy I'm my own worst enemy. Like I'm my worst critic. And then I'll even beat myself up for beating myself up. And then I'm just finding it as I get older, that doesn't serve me or other people. So I'm learning to just let all that go. Like that's just a racket. So I find through being around different people in a genuine way kind of gives an authentic level of accurate feedback about my place in community, in the world, and where I should shine, like what my place and purpose is, and like really owning that. And then other people have theirs, right? But I think we can only really find that through honest community, as opposed to just like living in your own world with like a few people and kind of like having this false sense of self. I think it's important to like talk to different people that have different perspectives and like have a dialogue with them and kind of see where they're coming from, and then have them see where you're coming from, and then from that you can be like, oh, okay, this is kind of where I fit. Anyway, I just went on a rant.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. Maybe I'll let you rant. Do you have, I don't know if you have a rant or thoughts on that exactly. Anything I was saying?
Yeah, this guy Jason. Oh, I'm kidding.
So full of himself.
Yeah.
Just goes on these rants.
On his own podcast.
Let me talk more about me. Me, myself, and I.
Real me adventure.
Real Jason. I'm not a narcissist, but let's talk about me. Let's say you had like, I'll give you 10 minutes to tell the world anything you wanted to tell the world.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna say.
What would you tell them?
Go vegan.
Go vegan.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's talk about that.
You knew I was gonna go there.
I didn't actually. So I remember it would be cool to like dive into that. So let's do it.
Yeah.
Why should we go vegan, Mr. O'Donnell?
Because eating animal products is causing unnecessary harm, in my opinion. You don't need to eat animals, and by purchasing animal products and putting money in the hands of people that kill animals for a living, you are creating you're a part of a cycle where animals are harmed for no good reason, because I think most people know, and if they don't know, they should know, that you can live happily, healthily, and you can have a great life basically without eating animals. Animals, everything on this earth has the right to live its life without undue harm, and it's basically a philosophy I live by.
You're like you're a strict vegan.
Yes. No.
Sounds like it.
Like clothes. Nothing.
Clothes. Wait, are there
no animal products?
Are there?
Clothes.
Wait, is that a thing?
Yes, leather, dude.
Oh yeah, duh.
And like.
Sorry, I wasn't thinking
and
right.
Like shampoo and toothpaste and like deodorant and all that stuff. Animal products are in that. Yeah, basically I just try to cause the least amount of harm as possible.
Yeah, that's a loaded topic, my man.
It is.
I'm sure you've had a lot of, have you had, what's it called, Backlash?
Yes, I was going to say.
A lot of arguments.
Oh my gosh, people get heated. Because
what
you're basically doing is telling someone that they've been doing a terrible thing for their entire life.
Henry, don't judge me. You're getting all vegan righteous. You're getting all up on your vegan throne. Don't do this, don't do that. Don't do anything I don't give permission for.
Anyway.
Bring me a head of a pig. Well, actually, I'm vegan. Bring me a head of a turnip. That'd be a good skit, the Vegan King.
That would be kind of funny.
That would be funny. Bring me a head of a turnip. Somebody play fiddle for me as I eat my turnips.
Give me some.
Let's go down here.
Kale.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta segue this. So I got a friend who's it doesn't matter, but he's from the South, the deep South, and he's like a hippie. He's vegan. He's super hippie.
I was about to say.
Yeah, and
South makes me think.
Exactly. That's what's so funny. So he'd go to these potlucks right after church, and you know, in the South,
oh boy.
And like the potluck spread is like brown and white food. So you got the mashed potatoes, the fried chicken, the fried this, the fried that, the fried the other thing, and he brings a kale salad. It's a big bowl of kale salad. It's the only green thing on the table, and everybody's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a kale salad." Isn't that a garnish? And they, you know, deep South people, they're really polite, right? And so they would put a little bit on their plate and nibble on a little bit and like kind of be yeah, exactly. Kale salad. Isn't that a garnish?
I'm not a huge salad fan, but like I'll eat about anything except mushrooms.
Yeah. Okay. The controversy. I love it. Yes. Let's dive into that. So, yeah.
You tell someone.
Is it still going?
Yes.
Okay. I get really paranoid because I can't see it, Henry.
Okay. So like when it happened to me, my brother told me.
Yeah.
And like I was terrible. Like I was telling him if you kept talking to me about it, I was gonna eat more.
Oh, okay.
You know, like it was. I'm pretty embarrassed about it, but so I understand why people do it, but like you really just have to try to get them to open their mind, and if they even don't do it at first, like you've had that. If you've had the conversation with someone, there's no way they can't think about it. So you kind of, it sounds very cultish,
yeah,
trying to be, but it's like you kind of plant a seed in their mind.
Sounds like you're trying to convert me to a religion here, buddy.
I know. That's
no, I'm just playing with you. I have my opinions, but keep going.
Yeah, so if you can just kind of plant a seed in someone's mind and get them to try to think, well, maybe my way isn't always the right way, then maybe they'll open up and change. But a lot of times people are just too prideful, and they just say screw you. Which sucks. So you have to, I've gotten better at being careful about it. Can't attack someone.
Yeah, nobody likes to be attacked.
Yeah.
You're not gonna really change anybody's mind with just coming in argumentatively strong.
Yeah, that's what I've learned.
So what's been the common backlash?
Like, you're an extremist, you're insane. For a lot of religious people, it's like, well, God says I can, so it's okay. I'm like, because it's like, I just don't. For me, it's like I don't see a reason not to. They're like, well, God says it's okay, and I'm like, dude, like you're just causing harm though, and they're normally just like, I don't care, which kind of sucks. It really sucks.
Yeah.
And it's hard to hear that because it's like I don't care about billions and trillions of animals.
Yeah.
3 billion a year, or no, a day.
A day.
I'm pretty sure.
3 billion
Land animals.
in the world.
Yeah, land animals.
Not just the States, but the world.
World. And then like that's excluding like fish.
Excluding fish.
Yes. Any water. That's just land.
Yeah.
Someone can fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. That's like 1/3 of the human population every day.
Yeah.
To give you some perspective.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, that guy Mike I was doing that expedition with, he's vegan.
The one on the zip tour that?
No,
Okay.
no, he's definitely not vegan.
Yeah, he didn't seem like the kind of person.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you hear about these people that only eat meat because they have autoimmune diseases and all this stuff, and then they tried all these different diets and nothing was working, and then they tried like just eating meat, and like their depression went away, their disease stuff wasn't acting up. So I guess it's, in my mind, I don't think there's the end all be all in one way of doing anything. It's really comes down to one's personal journey. But really, I like how you said, well, just think about what you're doing. Like, think about how you're affecting what's around you.
Yeah.
Just being, like, my thing is, I don't understand people that are against hunting, but eat factory meat. Because in my mind, I think it's way more inhumane to eat factory meat than it is to hunt.
Yeah.
Because hunting is like you have a relationship with the wilderness. You have a connection with that animal. You're using every part of it. It's just, it's more, in my mind, it's more honorable than just this animal that was raised in a factory and then just slaughtered just for meat. It's like, that seems a little, I don't like factory meat. Like, yeah, I'm a big fan. If I'm gonna eat meat, I would prefer that I am the one who takes that life and yeah, just more of a deeper connection with that animal, as opposed to just, oh, this showed up in the store. It's like a total disconnect from what's going on behind the scenes.
Have you noticed how, like, if you look for it, you'll notice how hard that industry tries to like create a barrier so you don't see what's going on. Like on like milk cartons, it's like a happy cow.
Yeah.
That's like the only example I can think of off the top of my head, but like a lot of people will like eat animal products and they don't even know it's an animal product that I talk to. It's like crazy.
An animal product that you've talked to? What did you just say?
A lot of people eat animal products.
Oh, got you. And they didn't know.
Yeah, they didn't know.
Those people that you talked to.
An
Yeah,
animal.
gotcha.
And I talked to them and they're like, I didn't even know. And I'm like, that's like, you're eating chicken. Like,
They don't know they're eating chicken?
I think so. Like,
wow.
It might not be that extreme, but like, it's crazy. Like beef, like think of like cow.
Uh-huh.
If you call it cow, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Chicken has just been used so much that it doesn't even, like, when you think of it, if you look up chicken actually on the internet, it's just like chicken strips. There are no, you have to look up chicken alive.
Wow.
To find a.
Well, because there's money in it, right? So.
What do you mean?
There's money in it's marketing, right? They're marketing meat, so they're creating a front that is friendly and it's.
Yeah, well, I mean, they would definitely not sell if they were like, look at.
This is how we slaughter this animal.
Yeah, like no one would buy that.
So if you haven't noticed, something about me is I'm an extremist. So I'll go to the extreme with something to learn about it myself. So I've done the extreme like vegan route. I've done the extreme like I only went with just liquid for 2 months just to test, just to see how it affects my body. I kind of use my body as like an experiment with different things, and my mind, and whatever. Like, why not? Like, just, I want to know for me. Like, somebody could tell me something, but I really want to like experience it. So I've had some interesting journeys with being vegan. Like, and when I went just liquid, like 3 weeks in, I noticed I had like a deeper connection with animals, even like insects. And I felt like they approached me like more. They were like more affectionate.
I think you've talked about this.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know if
I haven't really noticed that.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just something I made up in my head, but
it might have been.
Might have been.
But that, you can just say that it is, so
Yeah.
maybe someone out there would go vegan for that purpose.
Yeah. My energy was really high, but my strength went down, so I've had to like for me personally, I think
that might have just been something that you did incorrectly.
Yeah, like maybe need more flaxseed or whatever. Yeah.
Because like, look at me. Like,
yeah, you're pretty ripped.
I'm kidding.
Well, people have, you know, low iron. I don't know. I don't think there's one right way for everyone. I think everyone just needs.
Well, yeah, there are some people like. I wanted to bring up like necessity. Like the whole some people can only eat meat. I'm pretty sure like that's just based off of anecdotal evidence. Science totally disagrees with that.
Because your brain is really powerful. So if you think, oh, if I only eat meat, I'll be fine. Yeah. But maybe it's just that belief that, well, who knows? But
like the science says.
Can you start back?
Like, yeah, sure. Science totally disagrees with that. But there are some people who do not have access, who rely on these animals for food. And then it's necessity. People always ask me this annoying question. If you were stuck on an island and you didn't have anything to eat except for a pig, would you kill that pig? And it comes down to necessity. Like I said before, every living thing has the right to live its life without undue harm. Since it's necessary to eat that pig to survive, I would grant myself the permission. People also ask me, if you're getting attacked by a bear, would you just sit there? I'm like, no, I would try. I'm not gonna win, but I would try my best.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, people who live in just areas where there's like nothing, they have to rely on their local wildlife for food, which it sucks. I think that things have to die is pretty terrible. Death is not an enjoyable thing, but that's the fact. Why can't I think? That's their circumstances, and but yeah, that's like such a small amount of the population though.
Yeah.
Like you and I, we have access to so much vegan stuff, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Alternatives, there's almost an alternative for anything now.
Yeah.
Cheese still needs some working on.
I love cheese. I love cheese so much.
Follow your heart. It's definitely the best brand.
It's a good idea too. Yeah, man, I did that Tom Brown Jr. Wilderness Survival School when I was younger. Do you know that guy?
Who?
Tom Brown Jr.
Why would I know him? Like, where's he from? Like,
he's like a famous wilderness survival guy.
No, I don't.
He wrote all these books, like Tracker, Quest, like Grandfather. So when he was like 8 years old, his neighbor was the grandchild of an Apache native, or indigenous. I'm trying to be careful with my words here. And this Apache, I think he was like in his 60s. He trained Tom Brown at 8 years old, and the neighbor kid, who is the grandson of the Apache, they were both 8 years old. So he trained the two of them in all the ways of living with the wilderness, not against it, until they were like 18, and then he passed on, and then and so did the grandchild. He died. I forget how he died. This is in New Jersey in the Pine Barrens. So in the Pine Barrens, he learned all this stuff growing up, and then he started his own wilderness survival school and wrote all these books. And one of his stories that I really like is the Apache had him hunt a deer with a stick, a pointy stick, and he was up in a tree and he was stalking the deer, waited for the deer to like go underneath the tree, and then he jumped on top of the deer and got it in the neck with the stick. And he was probably, I don't know, 14 when he did this, and he was so upset. He's like, and it was just this like terrifying experience, and he was so mad at the Apache for like quote unquote making him do this, because he was so distraught and distressed by taking this life.
Interrupt super quick. Do you remember the first time you killed an animal?
Yeah.
How was it?
Awful.
I think every single person I've asked that question has that exact same answer.
Yeah, it's horrible, man. Like, yeah, I'll tell you that story after this one. But and then the Apache was like, once you have the same amount of connection and grief that you had with taking the life of that deer with a blade of grass, then you'll be one with everything. And it was like, whoa, shoot. Because if you like zoom out, you think about like when we die, our body goes into the earth eats it, and then grows whatever, and then the animal eats that, and it's just a cycle, right? Yeah. So there is a deep connection with everything, whether we like it or not. And to think that we're separate is kind of an illusion. So, and I'm a bit of like a philosophy nut, very much a science nut, very much like humanity's different wisdom, cultures, and traditions, religions, whatever you want to call them. I don't like the word religion, but so I guess you could say I'm like interfaith. So I like to take and look at different things, all the gems. But there's this one verse that's like everything's permissible, but not everything's beneficial. So we're like free to do whatever, but then you want to think like, is this beneficial to me and others as you're doing whatever? So then it becomes much more of a kind of a unique journey, and you're really asking yourself like, okay, I have free will to do whatever, but before I do this thing, does it create benefit? And that's kind of where I lean with whatever choice I'm making. At least I try to. Yeah. I'm sure I make a lot of unconscious, horrible decisions. So the idea is to be conscious, right? And I guess that's why I go to extremes, is so I can become conscious of like my effect on the world and then other people and myself. Yeah. So with that, I mean, with anything, you can become self-righteous. And that's where it can be kind of, then it becomes us and them, dualistic with anything, like diet, religion. And the whole idea is like to not be dualistic. It's like, how can we look at this all together and move forward together? In my mind, I think that's the way to go. Because the dualistic stuff, I think, just causes unnecessary suffering, unnecessary violence. I mean, you see it on social media. It's like polarizing, right? It's like, what do you, this team versus this team, fight. Okay, what are we, still cavemen? Like, yeah. Let's grow up here. But
is that his name?
Who?
The moderator for the election.
Was it? Yeah, I don't know. I only watched 10 minutes and I was like,
yeah.
Wow. I would be so impressed if in a debate someone didn't talk about the other person. They just talked about like solves to the issues of the country and world. Like if they only talked about that, like I'd be like, now there's somebody. Yeah. Instead of just constantly bashing the other person, I'm like, yeah. Wait, this is a waste of time. This is what's wrong with the world. Yeah. What are we, like in middle school? Like, liar, liar, pants on fire. It's like, seriously. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, I killed a chicken in Ecuador. It had, we were house sitting this hostel in a cloud forest. And it had llamas and chickens and dogs and all these animals, and nobody was coming there. We were just sitting, taking care of the animals in the place. There was like 6 of us. It was a blast. And this one chicken had like this disease on its leg. So we're like, oh, we should probably, put it out its misery and eat it. So we created a way to kill this chicken. None of us had killed a chicken before, and we didn't know what we were doing. And it was a long, drawn out murder, man. And halfway through the process, like this chicken let out this noise where it was like, this thing has a soul. Like you just knew this thing had like, it knew it was happening, and it was so haunting. man. It was,
Yeah.
it still bothers me to this day. Yeah, and it was powerful. Like, it really, yeah, having an experience like that is, and it was a chicken, right? Like,
Yeah. So the reason why people just start having, they don't care, is because they just become desensitized.
Desensitized, yeah.
It's not normal for us to, like, for a lion, it's normal. Like, it's in their genetics or whatever.
Yeah.
For us, we're not like built that way.
Yeah, when you take a life, it's a thing, man.
Yeah, it's like you realize, wow, that thing, I like ended it.
Yeah.
And it could have done some stuff if I hadn't have done that.
Yeah.
Kind of depressing.
Yeah.
I like that you used the word murder.
Yeah,
a lot of
straight up murdered that chicken.
Well, because it's, the dictionary definition is it's only for humans, but as you know, these animals have so much personality and character that I think they're worthy of, saying it's a murder.
Yeah, well, I mean, working at this farm, helping Hands Rescue.
Is that a sanctuary?
Yeah, so they take rescue animals that need to be rescued, that would otherwise be killed. And just being around those animals, like they're also trained to help people that need rescue, emotional, psychological support. And so people will go there and hold a bunny or pet a goat or
Nice.
hold a cat or be with the horses. Like, it's all just for rescue, the animals and people. And it's, yeah, talk about different personalities.
Chad, right? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, that's where I met Chad, yeah.
Chad's a chicken, by the way.
A rooster.
Oh, rooster, I guess.
Yeah, and what's interesting is roosters, a lot of military people that are in need, have PTSD, they're really drawn to roosters. Yeah, and just holding a rooster like helps them. Yeah, it's interesting. It's totally random. It's like, why the rooster? Like, it's fascinating. So yeah, there's something to it, man. Have you seen Blackfish with the orcas?
Oh, it sounds familiar.
You should watch that, man. That's, talk about something horrible we've done as humans.
I don't like watching it. Like, it only took a very short glimpse into the animal industry and like zoos and stuff like that to not want to ever see it again.
Yeah, I should take you to the farm.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm doing the training end of this month for equine therapy, but specifically with corporate groups. I think I told you already, but yeah, it's powerful stuff. All right, man. Signing off.
Cool podcast.
Thanks, Henry.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
We'll see how it plays out.